Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Christina from the Reflection Hub team. For this session, I have Diego with me, who will be facilitating the conversation with Martin. So I'm just going to hand it right over to you, Diego. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you're joining us. It's a pleasure to be joined for this talk with so many people around the world. And please let us know in the chat where you're from and your names. So I'm Diego Posada, and I work with the Foundation for Environmental Education, and I will be facilitating this session with Martin. So please remember that the event is being recorded, and this will be available on the website and the platform later. So if you do have any questions for Martin during our talk, please make use of the chat tool below the video, and I'll make sure to address some of those questions after Martin talks. So we're honored to have our inspiring speaker today, Martin Espósito. Martin is the director of Tagma, a Uruguayan NGO devoted to developing innovative projects in education and sustainability in Latin America. And with that, I hand it over to Martin. Martin, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Diego. Well, thank you very much for everyone to be here listening to this conversation. I'm really glad to be here and presenting to you what we are doing with Tagma, with our NGO, and also with what we have been doing, constructing, building different sustainable public schools in Latin America and learning and experimenting. So I'm going to show you some pictures, going to tell you the story on how we got where we are today and what we are doing in the future. So I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, you can see it. Well, yeah. Well, my name is Martin Espósito. Like Diego said, I'm the director of Tagma. This is our organization. We're based in Uruguay, but now we're working in Argentina, in Chile, in Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. Basically, this started like 10 years ago. It was 2012, and we were a group of 6 friends, basically, these 6 friends here in Uruguay. At that time, we were working on different NGOs as volunteers, and we were seeing as our country choosing a way of development associated with extractivism, like with the extraction of natural resources in this country. And we were thinking and we were working on the subject on why we decide to do this kind of things, why we decide as a country to choose that kind of development system. So for us, it was so really important to be part and to participate and to move at this a movement to change the way we see development as a society in Uruguay. So in that time, we saw this documentary about Michael Reynolds. This is Michael Reynolds. He's an architect in the United States, and for about 45 years, he dedicated himself to build self-sustainable buildings in the middle of the desert in Taos, New Mexico. And he called these buildings airships. An airship is a kind of building that allows the person that lives in it to have water, to have energy, to have food, to have warmth, to cool, to have a building that cools itself, that uses natural materials, recycled materials. So it's a building that allows the person that lives in it to be free and to be aware of the impact that person has on the ecosystem and on the people he lives with. So this was really important for us, and we saw this as an opportunity to take advantage of this knowledge. And we started dreaming about building the first sustainable and self-sufficient public school in the world here in Uruguay, because we thought about it as a chance to build a symbol of self-sustainability and a way to start educating children on how to create new ways of development for our country, as aligned with sustainability. So we were a group of friends. As I said, we had no experience in this kind of projects, so building a public school, self-sufficient, using garbage as materials and everything else. So it took like 5 or 6 years for us to do it, but we did it. And suddenly, it was 2016. It was like 5-6 years ago, and we got Michael Reynolds to come here. After seeing the documentary, we started to talk to him. We started to get permissions and money and people in the community, and suddenly we were building our first sustainable, self-sufficient public school. We had 100 students for 30 different countries, and we had a lot of volunteers participating with us. And in just 45 days, we built this first public sustainable school, and it's the first public sustainable school here in Uruguay, but also in the world and in Latin America. So this was a really amazing opportunity for us, because we had the chance to learn, to build, and to be a part of the construction of a symbol here in our country. And it was really good for us, and it was really great as a project, and it made us have new opportunities suddenly. And this school was 100% self-sustainable. It was producing its own water, its own energy, its own food, and in its construction we used almost 20 tons of waste. 20 tons of waste in tires and in bottles, in cardboard. So it's a school that for these children, it was a new way to see the world. And for us, it was an amazing experience. It was really tough, and it really transformed us and gave us new opportunities. And this was the team that will build this school with us. So jumping forward to 2018, we were doing it again. We had the chance to do it again. The success of the first experience opened up this second one, and we built the first public sustainable school in Argentina. This is it. This is the school. It's like a sister of the school in Uruguay. That's in Uruguay. And also we built it with Michael Reynolds. We built it in 45 days with students from 30 countries, different countries from all around the world. So again, it was an amazing experience, and it showed us that we could do it again. And this time we realized that building these two schools, while building these two schools, we made a group of friends from everywhere. We built a group of friends that were builders, educators, architects, engineers, communicators, and this was really an army of people eager to see things happen, to see things change. So knowing this, we started to create new projects, and in 2019, we built a classroom for environmental education in a training center for all rural teachers in Uruguay. We have 1,100 rural teachers in Uruguay, and all of them pass through this space, and they learn about education, environmental education, and how to use it in the context of public education. So for us, this is an amazing new project, because we have the chance to impact on so many people, so many teachers, so many educators, so many children, with tools to really see an opportunity to work at the sustainability and regeneration and all the concepts to work, but inside the educational system, public educational system. This is the classroom, it's a dome, and we built it in 15 days. And in 2020, with more experience and with a bigger group of people, we built our third public sustainable school. This was in Chile. This is the school, and we stopped building with Michael Reynolds. We started forming our own group of people, our own way to do things. And this time, instead of building a new building, this is an old picture of the existing building. We took an existing building, an existing school, and we tore it apart and built it and rebuilt it new. We made it self-sustainable. Here you can see how we torn apart this old building, this old school they had, that it was really cold. It had not enough space for everyone. So we did it again, and this is how the new classrooms looks like. They had open spaces and new areas to work with sustainability and with animals and with food production. So it's an amazing school, and it was a new experience for us. And later that year, in the middle of the pandemic, we built these two schools in the middle of the pandemic. And this time we built another sustainable classroom, another classroom for environmental education. And this time it is in a center that is visited for almost by almost 2,500 students and teachers every year. So we have 2,500 students, little children, that pass through this space from all around the country, and they take the concepts we put in that building about sustainability and self-sufficient, and they have tools inside the building and around the building, like these ones, and many other ones that they can replicate in their schools, and they can start working with environmental education in their own schools. So this was really another opportunity for us to keep impacting on more and more people with our programs and with our contents. And all of this is really important for us, because in long term, we want to build the first network of public sustainable schools. We want to build a network in Latin America. And if we do it, we think we'll have a chance to learn how to introduce sustainability, regeneration, self-sufficiency, and these needed concepts inside the public educational system in Latin America. And this is a region, a continent that shares the same trouble, the same problematic. So it is important for us to understand how the region works. And this year, we are making this network bigger. We are building the same number of projects we did in all of our history. We're building 5 buildings this year. So I wanted to tell you what we're building and where. This is Argentina. We're building now in July, in 2 months, and we're building a greenhouse that would be a classroom for a school that teaches to produce food and agriculture in an organic way, and how to also impact communities with agriculture. So this is going to be a new model that we will be sharing also, and it's a place where they can learn about how to grow food and produce food and organic ways of do it, but inside a place that also talks about it, not just a classroom. Then in Ecuador, in September, we're building an open air classroom where children can interact with another, with the community, and different aspects of sustainability. So are some references of what we're doing, but we are intervening an existing school with these different systems and places and buildings, so they can interact with each other, between the different kids and students, but also enjoy the open air and do it in the open air in this time that the pandemic is forcing everyone to shut closed spaces, and schools are used to work inside closed spaces. So this is an opportunity for us to work in the open air, to take the school and education outside the classroom. Then, in the same kind of thinking, in Peru, in October, we are building a classroom that will travel all around the country, collecting seeds and testimonies of the different ecosystems and cultures that exist in the country. So this is going to be a mobile classroom that will travel, that will be a renewed bus that will have some sustainability systems and tools, and will visit communities and schools, and will go around the country collecting what Peru is about, what the different ecosystems, the people, the culture, and the ways of building. And later in December, we are building our 4th public sustainable school. This time would be in Colombia, in Antioquia. This is Antioquia. And we are building a school that also will have new ways of thinking for us, and this experience we had in the last project will be put inside this new school. So it's going to make our network bigger. And finally, we are building our own sustainability school. It is called Campus, and there we will organize building and learning workshops all year round. So this is a space we will have the chance to try different approach to sustainable building, to learn about regenerative production systems, and to learn about how to build communities and self-sustainable groups of people. This is the chance we have after 6-7 years of work to have our own educational center. We will build different kinds of buildings like I'm showing, and this would be a space of 15 acres where we can receive different kinds of students from all around the world. We can receive schools, we can receive students, and also communities that we learn how to build in a sustainable way, but also how to produce food and how to produce systems in an ecological way. And also, for us, is the real opportunity of having the first sustainable school and for formation and education in all the region, because we are not finding another one. So this is a real opportunity for us, and it's amazing what that is happening now. This year in October we are starting to build, and in June of next year it will be done. So this is it. And that's going to be the next year for us. And personally, I think we really have to. This is what we're doing and why we're doing it. And we're trying new things. We're trying to push our boundaries and trying to put our ideas to action. This is the most important for us. We have to, and we are accepting while we're doing it, that we really won't see the world really change. We won't change the world ourselves. But I think that our responsibility as citizens of this world is to help the world change. We can push it to change along with others. We can inspire, and we have to do this thing knowing that it's for a greater good. And building sustainable public schools all around Latin America, and this thing we are doing, it's important for us because of this. We know we won't change the world for ourselves, but we're pushing. We're putting symbols. We're doing new things. We're trying new things. We're experimenting where we have to experiment. So this is for us what's our mission of life, and we have chosen it, and it's what we are going to do for the rest of our lives, I think. Well, this is what we have done. Sorry if my English is not so fluid. I haven't spoken it in a couple of years. But this is what we have done. This is what we'll do. I'm really happy to be able to show you. And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Martin, for a very inspiring presentation. I know firsthand the beauty of those buildings. I've been in some of them. I've helped build one of them actually with Martin. So if you ever have the chance, whoever's watching this, to be part of this project, I highly recommend it. It can be life-changing in some ways. We have a few questions from the audience, Martin, that I'm going to be passing on to you. The first one is money, of course. So how do you collect funds to build a school, and what is the average cost of projects?
Well, the average cost of projects, it's really variable. It really varies between project and project, and we try to adapt the project to the funds we have. The funding, it's really separated in different areas. In one side, we have funds from private companies like Disney, DirecTV, Unilever, and other local countries. Also, when we build, we do courses and workshops, and we sell those workshops. So the people that participate in the construction of the building is also participating in the funding, and then local companies and people donate materials, services, food, and everything else. So we have different ways to finance projects, and it's really variable. But if you think of construction, you have to think about the same amount, the same cost of a conventional building, but you don't have costs from that point when you construct to the future. You don't have an energy cost. You don't have water. You don't have food. So it's really cheaper to live that way. I think that's
Perfect. Good. Another question. So I'm just selecting a few because we got many actually.
Okay.
So what are the biggest challenges to building the schools, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is building different kind of buildings, sustainable buildings, and that are built in really different ways of doing it, different mechanics, is to put them inside the educational system, the public system. So we have to get permissions and habilitations, and this is really difficult because we are doing different things. But project by project, we are learning how to do it. It's not as difficult as it was in the first place. So this is one of them. Also, the other one for us is working with communities and with companies and with government and with ourselves. And there's a lot of people and organizations to deal with and to interact. So this is really beautiful, but this is really hard also because you have to articulate with all of these kind of visions and also desires and objectives over the project. So this is a really difficult thing, but also it's a nice thing to do, and it's amazing when it works. And I think the last one is building in such short terms. We build like in Chile, we build like 500 square meters in just 45 days. So this means we have to run, we have to do things fast, and we have to work long hours. And we have to work with 100 people, 150 people for each day. So this is really difficult when you have to organize this, and it has to work in a short-term period. And also, it's a public building, so it's really in the public view, so you have to be really careful what you do. So these are I think the most important ones.
Yeah, it's very clear. And then one final question. We got a question if you're planning to build in Malaysia, but I think that could be connected to a broader question is, are you planning to expand apart from Latin America, or is for now Latin America your main focus?
For now is our main focus. We really wanna do this thing of building this network of public sustainable schools in Latin America, and we don't want to distract too much from this. This is our main objective, but we have some requests, so it's natural to look around. Now, the only project we are looking that's not in Latin America, it's in Africa, in Senegal, and that's I think we're thinking about, because I don't know, it's an amazing challenge also, and so we're thinking about it.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. So I recommend, do you have any website, social media, or anything people could follow you or find the project?
Yeah, sorry I didn't put it in the last page of the presentation, as Diego told me. You can look around in. I can write it in the comments.
No, it's
Somos.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Somostagma.com. It means we are Tagma.com. And also you can search for una escuela sustentable, in Facebook and Instagram. So you can see there when we're building, if there's workshops available and everything else.
Great. So yeah, I'm sure now our assistants are gonna write these links on the chat, so everyone can go and access them and take a look at the project. So we are unfortunately coming to the end of our session. Thanks, Martin, for taking the time and for presenting this amazing project you're doing. I hope everyone has enjoyed it and have been able to take something away from it. Maybe something to include in your personal action plan, or something to include in your own life in the future. If you would like to continue the discussion today, please head over to the forum and on the website. The next talk will begin in 30 minutes. And otherwise, you can join a workshop at 4:30 about making films for the United Nations. So thank you very much for everyone for joining, for Martin for your time. And I hope you have a good one and enjoy the rest of the event.